Eso es. Here we go. So I'm gonna we'll start us off standing today, and I'll just clear my mat for him and set up my mat for me. So anyway, I'm gonna just begin. Try to feel into your feet. So if you look down and feel your feet right underneath your sitting bones, and then from there, put your hands on the head, and you don't need to look at your feet, but feel where your feet are in space. And without looking, make them parallel so that the two big toe base joints, right, are lining up with your ankle, with your heel right underneath your head. Good. And then just take a moment with the hands on the head to feel that relationship between the head and the tail. Good. And then from there, we'll go ahead, bring your arms here to your sides and let the fingertips float in and stretch your fingertips towards your toes, and now reach your toes up toward your fingers. So we feel spreading out the ball of the foot, extension through your femur bones. They should be lifting vertical. Good. And just the arms here at your side. So now with just the right arm, roll it out and in, kind of checking in on your shoulder. Good, kind of moving it there. Same thing, left arm out and in, out and in. Now hold the left arm firm to the side. Take the right arm out to the side now, out and in, and feel that relationship. One set of fingers moving down, the other set of fingers moving out. Good. Exhale, release, and then change. Same thing. So firm, firm, firm. Across your scapula, rib cage, still anchoring, tailbone moving down. Good. Let's inhale now. Take two arms just into this halfway point. Roll the thumbs. Hacemos un poco movimiento con los pulgares, también meñiques, índices, medios, anulares. Good. Inhale. Take your two arms up for a moment. Big breath, lift your sternum, and then exhale, let the sternum float, kind of melt down. Let's try that again. Inhale, a big lift of the sternum. And then exhale, let it float, roll all the way down. One more big lift of the sternum, and then exhale, letting it float down. Take your two hands to the fronts of the thighs. Move the thighs back and keep your head, la cabeza, sobre el coccyx, so over your tailbone as you float back. Pull up on your thigh bones as you lift. And then exhale again, think thighs moving to horizontal. You can even feel your hamstrings back here. And exhale, coming up. This time, keep the left hand at your hip. Reach the right arm out and then back in. Reach the hips back evenly and in. One more time. Out and in. Good. Now exhale, opposite side. So let the hands slide down the thigh and just feel that connection. Top body, bottom body. Good. 2 and 1. Good. So now 2 hands, 2 thighs. Inhale and exhale, reaching out. Inhale, pull up at the thigh bones. Exhale, reaching out. Pull up at the thighs. One more time. Inhale and exhale. This time, cross your hands. Take a second. Check on your neck. Feel your feet. Good. Good. Just with your arms crossed, pull the front of the rib cage down and feel that abdominal connection. Then your head over each shoulder, and then your neck coming down each side. Oh, good. So again, movement sometimes will just reveal where is that tension hiding out. So now exhale, hands down the thighs. Keep the arms crossed and let them float down and up, maybe hands tapping the knees. Exhale. Good. Exhale. Good. And then let's change the cross. Pressing the arms into each other, exhaling to lift, just feeling how that's a little different for your shoulder. Exhale. Exhale. Now hold. Go ahead, take your right wrist or your right hand to your left wrist. Reach and pull over onto the other side. So you've pulled the body. Mirror me and go opposite. Exhale, bring that down. Changing sides, lift and pull over. Good. And then let's just open nice and wide. Let the feet step out. So maybe if you're extending here, your feet are about under your elbows, under your humerus bones. Good. So start with the arms extended, softness through the knees, stretching, switching sides, right and left, right and left, right and left. So feel what you want to imagine is that I'm putting my hands on my head here so I can use my imaginación. Take your inner thigh and feel the outer leg. Bueno, vamos a hacerlo otro lado. You'll try it on the other side. So you feel those muscles connecting. Good. So then go ahead, everybody, manos aquí en la cabeza. Take a moment, try to steady the head. And then let the hips circle all the way around. Take that perhaps the other way, steadying the head and letting the hips circle all the way around. So you have one little bit of anchor. Also feel your feet maybe as an anchor. Good. And then let's open up, hands to the outer thighs. Come down just a hair. While you're down here now low, see if you can make your rib cage your anchor. And then just move the low back under that wall. If the ribs don't move, then this becomes more about an abdominal connection as you tuck up. Just exhale and feel that for a moment. Inhale, exhale, tucking up. Inhale and exhale. So now lengthen the spine, move the tailbone and the head apart, la cabeza coccyx afuera, and then come and bend the knees. Take the hands off of the legs, stretch one arm out. Good. So there's no weight here. Exhale. Good. And so when there's no weight in the arms, you should feel more work in the quadriceps and hamstrings. Exhale out. Good. Now let's be soft with our knees, but come down and up. Let's go 5, y 4, 3, 2, 1. And just to get a better picture of your spine, right hand to your sacrum, left hand maybe to the top of the head, and just feel where your arms, where your head, la espalda baja, están en el espacio. Good. Pause down low. Switch hands. Good. 5. And just check on your shoulders here. 4. So you're still angled forward. 2 and 1. And now we're going to put 2 hands, dos manos aquí en la espalda baja. 3, 2, 1. Y ahora manos aquí en la cabeza. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, stretch all of that up. This time, hands to the thighs and create a full forward bend. So head moving down. Vamos a sacudir un poco, manejar un poco. Just let your head stretch over each shoulder. Good, now let the chin move down and up, and let these movements be exploratory. So each movement is sort of giving you information. ¿Cómo está la cabeza? ¿Cómo está el cuello? ¿Cómo está tu cuerpo? Good, exhale. So from here, pushing into the feet, we're gonna lengthen all the way up. Good, and then exhale. Move the weight into the right side. Push up from the floor. Push up from the floor. Push from the floor, landing toe ball heel. So if you're not feeling so, your ankles, knees, hips, etc., you don't have to lift the leg all the way up. You could leave the toes in the floor, but just feel that movement. Good. And let's try that on the other side. We're going to bend into the left side, toe ball heel. Toe ball heel, toe ball heel. Watch the movement the whole way down and up, catching the weight in your feet. Exhale, pushing to lift, 2 and 1. Good. So now soft through the knees just a couple of times. Let's keep the knees soft and then roll balls to heels, balls to heels. Good. So good. Now, can you anchor the tailbone and let that be the anchor for your torso? El torso and the coccyx as the weight moves forward and back. Good. Okay, so now let's turn just your right toes out. Let the knee come over your talon and then just bend and straighten here. An external rotation. Good. 2 and 1. Good. Exhale. Turn it in. Other side. So when you're doing this external rotation, check your hip. Keep the hip bones even. Doblamos, estiramos. Good. Feeling that energy there. Beautiful. Good. So I'm putting my hands here on my pelvis just to feel, kind of support a balanced pelvis as I'm externally rotating the knee. So now dos piernas abiertas. So open your 2 knees, and then we're going to take the weight. Doblamos, estiramos, doblamos, estiramos. We're going to do this movement, and as you do, put your hands on your rib cage, maybe thumbs here at the base of the ribs, fingers here at your 2 hip points. Feel the torso stay upright. Let's mix it up a little. Take one arm out and still feel your torso stay upright while we're moving. Good. Pause in the center, switching arms, same thing. Feel the torso, sides of the ribs growing, supported as the limbs are moving away. Las ramas están moviendo aquí afuera. Good. So now arms up, lengthen the knees, and then let's come down. Let the limbs sort of move down and up. Good. And I want you to visualizamos los pies, los talones. Good. Your feet, your heels as your weight is coming down and up. Visualize your head and your tail. Good. La cabeza, coccyx, estamos moviendo, sí. Good. Let's pause down here. Cross an arm. Stretch. Estira sobre tu cuerpo. Feel that the hips haven't lost their balance. Están todavía conectadas. Inspirar arriba. Feel that slide over to the other side. Good. Stretch, stretch, stretch. So it's the rib cage estirando hacia el muslo opuesto. So rib cage stretching towards the opposite thigh. Exhale, now pull an elbow down and reach. And let there be some push through the arm as you reach back up. So we're kind of activating the arms here. Inhale. Coming down. Exhale, pushing up. Inhale, coming down. Exhale, pushing up. Try that. Inhale, coming down. Exhale, pushing up. Inhale, down. And now let the fingers curl under and lift. So fingers are going to curl under towards the armpits. Good. So you're getting that little stretch through the top of your wrist. Good. Good. And then let's reverse that. Inhale. Exhale. Let's reverse that. Inhale. Exhale. Let's reverse. Exhale. Let's reverse. Beautiful. So now take a pause and turn your feet facing forward once again. And then let's pivot the whole body to face the right. Be soft with the front knee, firm with the back knee, back toes. Afuera un poco, they're coming out. And then again, draw that line. Just the act of bringing your pelvis more to the center should make this back glute wake up. And then if your weight's falling forward, just the act of bringing the head over your tail should help you, again, feel those sensations. Good. So now let's not be super rigid with anything. Just feel your pelvis more or less balanced. Muscles in the back of the leg firming. And then un brazo arriba. Take one arm up and then down. Take otro brazo arriba. Good. I'm going to play with this movement a couple of times. Inhale this time. Right arm comes up. Take the hand behind the head. Stretch. Oh, I just had a real adjustment in my arm. How nice. Exhale, bringing that down. Left arm comes up, hand behind, right arm, brazo derecho, atrás. Good. Okay. And then dos brazos arriba. Take the elbows wide and up, wide and up, wide and up, wide. Hold the wide hands behind the head. Open your chest. Good. And then from here, just rest the hands on your head. Bend the back knee. So I don't know if you can see this, but you want a right angle when you bend through the front knee and through the back knee. So when I bend, my femur bones and my shin bone move towards a right angle. 2 and 1. So again, don't fall to the floor. Push away from the floor. Excellent. Take the 2 arms up. Big stretch. And then let's exhale. Find ourselves here on the other side. Hands to your hips. So no rush. Feel the hip bones moving evenly towards one another. The act of doing that should engage this back glutes. The front knee bends. The hip bones are moving towards center, and this back femur bone is lifting up in the hip socket to firm the muscles here. So just begin feeling these sensations, noticing the head above the tail as you bend and straighten this knee a little bit. Good. And now vamos a estirar. Take one brazo arriba. Take one arm up, maybe leaving that other hand at your hip. And exhale back up. Opposite hand, so you can just watch your center the whole time you move here. Now this time the right arm reaches up, the hand moves behind the head, and the chest like sila está estirando. You're stretching your armpits. Muy bien. Arriba, vamos a intentar el otro lado. Brazo izquierdo en el aire, mano detrás de la cabeza, estirando muy bien la axila. Good. And then exhale right back up. This time when we bend, dos brazos. And then I want you to feel your brazos anchos, brazos anchos. So just feel the arms opening, moving wide. 2 and 1. Y ahora manos detrás de la cabeza, hands behind the head go hacia las palmas. And then exhale up. Let the back heel lift. Now let the knee bend slightly. And remember, when we come down and up, head, la cabeza, sobre tu coccyx. So the head comes right above your tailbone. And then the 2 knees move towards a right angle. Arriba y abajo. Arriba y abajo. Arriba y abajo. Muy bien. Let's take the arms, stretch them forward, and exhale, step the feet in. So how about ondulamos un poco la columna? So this is a very helpful movement for my low back. So I'm going to take my tailbone back, curl under, and feel the abdominals connect as I lift. Inhale, reach back. This is spinal extension. Curl under, feel that nice undulation, which helps my belly muscles work. And everybody can just practice this for a minute. Don't have to look at the screen. And just pay attention to those sensations. Deep inside, inhale. Exhale, find that undulation. Inhale and exhale, making that sort of second nature for your body. Use big exhales. Move the blood, release. Beautiful. Okay, con las manos aquí atrás, reach the arms back and stretch the fingers. Feel the arms move out and in, out and in, out and in. Good. Hold the arms in. Palmas arriba, palmas abajo, palmas arriba, palmas abajo. 2 arms forward. Stretch, reach the arms up and pull up. Stretch, reach out and pull up. Stretch, reach out and pull up. Stretch, reaching up. Y ahora arriba. One more time. Out and up. And then this time holding out. Hands to your shin bones. Vamos a bajar la cabeza. Look at your feet. Everybody, índices, take your index fingers underneath your dedos gordos, underneath your big toe base joint. La articulación del dedo gordo. And press there for a moment into your index finger. And again, just slowly. Para explorar, to explore, just feel your cuello, lado y lado, lado y lado. Good. Okay, and then desde aquí, see about inhale, pushing your hands, empujamos las manos aquí en las pantorrillas, pulling the belly up, take your manos detrás, your hands here back behind the thighs, and then move the thigh bones up more vertical. Good. And then one final little thing, manos, can you put your hands, las manos debajo de los pies, and then fold at the elbows, pull back and up with your upper arms, and really, really, really stretch through your calves. Let the weight of your feet move into your hands, como un masaje. And then let's exhale, palms underneath you. Feel firmness in your shoulders, like you could just put the legs in the air. And I'm gonna reach my right leg back, reach my left leg back, and find a real plank, so my head above my tail, my rib cage scooping in, thigh bones lifted and extended, subiendo, extendida. Good. And then from here, exhale, reach your pelvis in the air. Stretch your left heel towards the floor, lift the right leg up. And circulitos, try a couple little circles. Good. A couple little circles the other way. Checking in with your hips. Good. And then let's pull the weight of the body back as we put the foot here on the floor behind the hand. And we'll exhale, coming up. Arriba, arriba. Let the thumbs connect. Stretch the fingers towards the sky. And again, when we're working to build intensity in a yoga pose, this right angle with the femur bone moving more horizontal towards the floor, that's how you're going to make more work happen, right? You see gravity really working. And then again, more work is going to come from lifting the back femur bone up, right? So those forces in the leg are resisting gravity. And that's how we make this more intense without necessarily being harder on the joints. You don't want to force the joints into a movement that isn't healthy. So let's exhale, bring your hands here to the floor or to 2 blocks, and then lengthen. Vamos a alargar la pierna derecha. So again, that sensation that the hip bones, sitting bones can move toward each other. And release in your neck totalmente. Good. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to walk my left hand un poco más cerca, a little bit más cerca to my right foot. And then exhale, place my right hand on my low back and just sort of shift this pose un poquitito. Muy bien. Take your 2 hands down, bend the back knee, and then just imagine a little bit of the sacrum moves down, it lets the head come up. Bajando la espalda baja para subir la cabeza. Good. And just enjoy that for a moment. Is there some equilibrium here between the flexion and extension of your 2 hips? Beautiful. Bring that arm back around so you have 2 hands on the inside of this front foot. Good. Push through the back heel. Turn towards the back leg. And aquí a little Tadasana. And exhale, find that long extension, tail between the head and the tail, between the talones y los isquillones, right? So those are your 2 sort of places of lengthening in a forward bend. That is sitting bones to heels, talones a tu isquillones,
And then your head, la cabeza hacia tu cartas, to your tailbone. So there's where the length can happen. Oh, you'll like this. Put your hands on your tailbone. Pull the shoulder blades together. Release your neck, and almost pull the tailbone up. Ooh. And then from here, let's look at those what were once the back toes. Turn towards that side, step the back foot in. So now estamos en otro lado. You're on the other side of your mat. And let's go back to Tadasana for a second. So zip, feel the 10 toes estirando. So feel the toes extending from the floor. Feel the tailbone dropping. Feel the rib cage. So if you can feel for a second, when we talk about the energy moving down, it's from the front of the ribs and the tailbone. The energy that's moving up is through the fronts of the thighs, and then the chest is opening. So that's kind of the base of your Tadasana. Extend the fingers, roll the palms out, and just feel for a couple breaths through the toes, los dedos del pie, y through las manos, por las manos, your pulgar y tu meñique. You're extending all the little digits away from each other. Go ahead, exhale, bring your arms up and continue. So when the arms reach up, cuando los brazos están alcanzando, and your feet are moving horizontal, so spreading out into the floor, the thighs can zip up. Good. And again, that's supported by this strength in the backs of the legs. So mountain pose, Tadasana, a great thing to practice with intention, with clarity, because it's sort of the basis of all the standing we have to do all day long. Rib cage and tailbone. Remember, ribs down, tailbone down, navel and femur bones moving up. And from here, vamos a abrir. You're just going to open the palms, take the palms facing down to the low back. Keep your head above the tail as you lower. Good. Take your two hands to the low back for a moment. Good. And just feel, I'm almost pushing in here on my sacrum as I'm lifting my head mientras estoy subiendo la cabeza. Good. Exhale. Come right back up. Hands there. We're going to try it again, but now let the fingertips face up. So están moviendo arriba, and you're still going to move the tailbone down, the femur bones up, the feet horizontal, and lift your sternum, el esternón. So when you spread out the toes, the arches of your feet should lift. Good. And then from there, exhale, bring all that back down. And let the arms here float under your shoulders. Let the head come up. Try this now. Left hand to your right thigh and just really lengthen the right thigh. Feel, so when you push your leg into your hand, you should feel real connection there. Vamos, soften that knee, try it on the other side. So I'm going to push thigh to hand, hand to thigh, and feel the whole femur bone come longer. Good. Inhale. Now, two opposite hands to thighs. Head comes over. Stretch, 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 stretch. Y ahora las manos aquí en el piso. Stretch your left leg back, your right leg back. And what is a plank? If not the tailbone reaching towards the heels reaching towards the wall, your rib cage scooped in, top of the head extending out. Reach all of that back through el poder en los brazos. So taking that back, now the right heel hacia la pared, you're going to reach it towards the wall. And again, activate the femur bone. Before you lift, bend the knee. Hacemos circulitos con la pierna izquierda. Muy bien, otra dirección. Súper bien. Inhale, arriba, arriba. Good. And then exhale. Colocamos el pie detrás de la mano. So put the foot behind the hand and push through that back foot. And exhale. Find yourself moving up. So if today your intention was to build a little intensity, first way to do it, two hips
parallel so that the glute on this, both glutes have to engage when you square the hips. Then the femur bone lifting up engages the hip flexor group. And then the knee joint bending makes this more about the hamstring. So there's a whole lot of ways to find la intensidad en cada postura. Beautiful. So focus for a moment on your bottom body, connected to all those sensaciones, and then un brazo en el aire, el otro brazo en el aire. Estira, so now you can pull the torso out of the hips while the hips are descending. Muy bien, and desde aquí, estiramos adelante. You're gonna come stretch forward. So give this a moment. Relaxing the head, relajando la cabeza. Good. And then you can take your hands a little bit closer to this foot. Perhaps take your one hand at the low back and mount the head over. And again, keep moving the sitting bone back, back, back. That's where the power is. Muy bien. And then from here, we're going to bend, bend, bend your back knee. And I'll say this again, the sacrum, a lot of times the knee bends and then we round the back because it's tight. So the act of moving the lumbar, la espalda baja, adentro, and then that brazo can stretch out. Muy bien. Muy bien. Good. Exhale. Let's try this time. Just step the front foot back and come into an Adho Mukha Virasana. In your child's pose, place your hands on your neck. And I just want you to almost give yourself a little massage here on those neck vertebrae. If you can, take your right hand to the left side of your neck and just through your spinal extensors, breathe, alargando. Just feel lengthening. Good. Feel where there might be something blocked up. Good. Maybe let the fingers there rest for a moment on your occiput, where the base of your skull. And then las manos aquí, your otra mano. You're going to take your left hand to your cuello, your vertebra, to your neck vertebra, and then just feel those muscles. Just feel where you might be tight or caught. And then again, empujamos. Aquí, los dedos, los pulgares, push into your cascabel, into your skull here. And then from here, we're going to exhale. Let the weight of the body move up. I'm going to place a blanket in the center, en el centro de mi tapete, folded in a little two-fold like this. So feel for a moment, I'll go back to hands on your low back. So if I push my palms right across my sacroiliac, my fingertips kind of hug over the gluteals. And I can, just from that orientation, move my tailbone sort of down in the direction of my fingertips, moving down, down, down hacia las rodillas. And then from there, I'm just going to open my chest, so pull my elbows without moving my spine hacia los talones. So I'm going to move my elbows towards my heels. And then exhale, this doesn't have to be big, just open the sternum a little bit more so you can feel the verticality of the thighs coming from that tailbone anchoring. Good. Okay. So from here, move all that back and then let your head come to the floor. So top of the head comes to the floor, just maybe resting your arms for a moment on your espalda.
then wherever you can imagine is the top of your head, the absolute la tapa de tu cabeza. See if you can find that. And just kind of breathe into it. Inhale, inspira. Exhale, and just press into the top of your head. I've moved my hands here back behind my thighs. Just to stretch, estira entre mis omoplatos. I'm stretching in between my shoulder blades. Take a second, this might feel fun. Put your hands on the sits bones and then sit on your hands. This you could think of as a meditation for busy people. So people who always need to be doing something. You might spend a good 5 to 10 breaths just sitting on your hands. Just to be fancy, I'm going to now turn the palms over and sit on my hands this way. So that my heels of the hands and palms are on my heels. Close your eyes. Cerramos los ojos. Good. So now kind of pushing your feet down. Let the head come over. So now this is my cachete derecha. I just got that on the floor, tailbone up. And let the arms kind of hang. Apoyado por el piso, so you can really just feel the ground as your anchor underneath you. Muy bien, now take the other cheek down. And again, this might just reveal, there's a little something happening in my neck. Just breathe, you don't have to fix any sensations, just estamos respirando aquí. Muy bien, so now I'm going to take my two arms adelante forward and then just kind of try to slide my body into the floor. Can we tap your feet? Tocando el piso. And again, just feeling that light connection of your glutes and hamstrings mientras estamos. Imagine, you're swimming, so estamos moviendo más de la cadera. So you're moving more from the hips. Go ahead now, press your right foot into the floor and take your cabeza hacia el talón. So take your head towards your right heel. And pull your bottom lip, your labio bajo, sobre tu labio encima. And breathe into that stretch in your platysmus, your throat. Exhale, release that. Doblamos otra rodilla. Pull the tailbone down, scoop. And then exhale your talón and your cabeza, head and heel reach towards each other. Bottom lip over your top lip. 5 breaths, 5 respiraciones. Muy bien. Exhale now, just a little stretch through your brazos. Good, cabeza atrás. Labio bajo sobre el labio encima. Exhale, take your chin, entonces sobre cada lado. Good, exhale, doblando las rodillas, bend your knees. And don't have to do anything here, just put your hands on the low back. And again, push the hands into your gluteal group as you feel the tailbone move towards your heels. So just connect to that powerful center, squeeze the elbows in, Maybe lift one leg up, set it down. Maybe lift the other leg, but feeling that evenness across the low back coming from that connection in the glutes. So la cadera equilibrada mientras estamos subiendo y bajando cada muslo. So now once you start to feel that gluteal connection, pull your belly in. So your panza está también conectada. Good. Belly is in and deep. Beautiful. Now maybe your two legs and the front of the ribs, las costillas están moviendo adentro. Maybe now vamos a extender las piernas. Maybe you could extend. Bring your palms all the way together. Quizás subiendo la cabeza también. Muy bien. From here, let the right arm stretch underneath you, and you're just going to pull yourself onto this side. Hand and leg. Do this a few times. So we're going to push, empujamos la mano y la pierna junta mientras estamos subiendo y bajando. So again, that tactile cueing, feeling your body in space. Let's empujamos la pierna abajo en el piso. So push the bottom leg into the floor. If you want to work on your balance, do this exercise. Hacemos este ejercicio con los ojos cerrados. So try this with your eyes closed. Good. And then we're gonna pause, take the hand up, fold at the knee y abrazamos. So hug this in. And just again, con los ojos cerrados puedes enfocar un poco más en el equilibrio. So you can focus a little bit more on balance. If you push that bottom leg down. And then from here, maybe a hand to the foot para extender. Good, and then from here, maybe hand to the tobillo. Vamos a extender otro lado. You'll take that to the other side, just stretching the leg behind you. And then we're gonna put that foot adelante. Stretch your top arm, so just a little circling into the shoulder. Hacemos circulitos. Hacemos los circulitos, otra dirección. So I've got my hand on my shoulder, so I can just really feel how, como es. Good. Exhale. Hand to your foot. So when I get to my big toe, my dedo gordo, now I'm gonna kind of pull actively with my arm. That stretch really deeply my hips here. Good. So now from here, if you can, if you like, tuck your two knees together, push your arms into the floor, and then you're going to fold that top knee over your bottom knee. So this is my left leg over my right. Hands once again to your hips. And if you want, go ahead. Vamos a mercer la pelvis, adelante, atrás, adelante, atrás. Good. So lengthen the sides of the ribs and feel this deep, la conexión profunda entre la cadera y los abdominales. So you'll start to notice over time, the more the hips are capable of release, the more the abdominal muscles are capable of engaging. And engaging is not forcing something. It's not doing 1,000 sit-ups. It's just being able to hold your skeleton, your esqueleto, arriba. Good. So hold on to those sensations. Now put your left hand aquí en your sacro. So put the left hand on your sacrum. Check your neck and shoulder here. Take your right hand detrás de la cabeza. Good. And then podemos gatear. You can kind of crawl your fingers towards each other.
Good. So now I'm going to take my right hand to my left knee and then giro, giro, giro. I'm just turning towards that leg. Good. And what I'm doing with my back arm, again, never done this way ever before in my life, but I'm bracing upwards. You can almost see my shadow here. So that my left hand is kind of bracing my thoracic spine and opening my shoulder. Super bien. So now freeing that arm up. Let's just take your legs to the other side of your mat and we'll come down slow. And try these sensations, this whole thing on the other side. So top hand and leg. The fingertips are helping me feel how my leg is moving through space. This is beginning with a parallel leg. I want you to notice as you really lift your top leg, push the bottom leg down and activate. You'll feel the gluteus minimus, hopefully, and the inner thigh group on the bottom leg, mientras están apoyándote. So they're supporting you here. Muy bien, desde aquí vamos a abrazar. You're just gonna hug this leg. Abrazando. So using the weight of the arm to relajar un poco el cuello. I said cuello, but I meant cadera. Good. So then, as you're feeling release, as your hips are able to stabilize, then extend the knee. So it's not a popped, forced, aggressive movement, but see if you could extend the knee on a 10 count. So you're not forcing your muscles to do something that feels too fast, too hard. I kind of always think when you ask nicely, the body is infinitely more capable than when you're like, do this right now. So, desde aquí, doblamos la rodilla otra vez. Mano aquí en tu tobillo, take your hand to the ankle. And then I want you to focus while you're here. The two kneecaps, if they were together, if your legs were extended, the top leg was extended, they would be parallel. Then you can gently reach the leg back from there. You don't want to be up. So you can gently reach back so the femur bone, the knee and the hip are really aligned. Now the bottom rib cage, is it falling into the floor? Could you lift the bottom rib cage? Good. And again, to work on your balance, cerramos los ojos. Close your eyes y respiramos. Where are those sensations? How do they feel? ¿Cómo están? Beautiful. Y ahora esta pierna adelante. So take this leg forward y desde aquí vamos a estirar your we'll do it just a sec. So I'm putting the top of my hand into this foot. You can pull on the big toe, but give that a little stretch. Sometimes your body will let go if you're doing opposite. So this is my right hand, left foot, mano derecha, pie izquierdo. And you'll get a different kind of release. Okay, go ahead, let that rest for a moment. Y ahora el brazo encima, so now your top arm. Move the humerus bone, but feel your clavicle and feel your scapula. And keep those parts of you kind of steady as the anchor for your movement while we circle this brazo. So now the arm can come down. Empujamos, pushing up from the floor. And then letting the knees come together. So before we do this other side, maybe put your hands for a moment onto your heels. Pushing in, pushing down, let the sits bones rise up and then come down right underneath your shoulders. Good. I'm going to try that again. I'm just pressing some weight here into the arches of my feet, a little massage. Push down, lift, set it down. So now my brazo derecho, yo pongo atrás, putting it back. Check on your neck here. Good. Y ahora, brazo izquierdo detrás y encima, so the hand can move to your cuello. And then let's estiramos los dedos juntos. So they can reach towards each other and you check your neck. ¿Cómo está el cuello? They don't have to touch, no tienen que tocar. Solo. Muy bien. Y ponemos la mano aquí. So put your hand here on your hip. I mean, this is your rodilla. Estira afuera. So I'm now bracing my spine. Good. And then let's exhale. Release your two legs out. And then just let yourself come back here into the floor con los brazos abiertos. Quizás los piecitos juntos, so you can open the legs nice and wide. Ancho. Complete breaths, respirando completamente. Cuando estés listo, puedes menear los dedos de la mano, dedos del pie. Abrazamos las piernas sobre el pecho, hug the knees over the chest. Y giramos a un lado. And then you come and sit up. Nos sentamos arriba. Con las palmas juntas. Bajando la cabeza, cerrando los ojos. Tu práctica es un regalo. Your practice is a gift, everyone. Muchísimas gracias. Disfruta tu día. Namaste.